Well, hey there, East Main Baptist Church. Welcome back to another real short talk with Ryan, where my goal is to help you encounter God, experience Him, and engage with His mission, right? I hope you learn something during this time, that your affections are drawn closer towards God, but also that you are equipped to then go and live for His glory every day, right? That's what the engage with His mission part means. That's why I tell you at the end of every video, go and glorify God's name, because that is what we are called to do. To look at Him, to encounter and experience His presence so that we can go be witnesses of Him throughout the rest of our day. And the question I want to ask you to consider today as we look at Psalm 124 is, where would you be without the Lord? That's the question that the psalmist really invites us to consider. Look at what he says. Verse 1, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, let Israel now say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, right? He's inviting them to say, hey, if it hadn't been the Lord who was with us, this is what would have happened, right? What would have happened if the Lord had not continued to go before them, continued to be with them, continued to fight their battles for them? If it had not been the Lord who was on our side when people rose up against us, then they would have swallowed us up alive when their anger was kindled against us. Then the flood would have swept us away, the torrent would have gone over us, then over us would have gone the raging waters. He wants to remind them, and He wants to remind you that without the Lord on your side, defeat is certain. Right? There is no standing against your enemies. There is no standing against your problems when you are on your own. We know this is true with the greatest enemy of all, which is sin and death, right? These things that are the result of the fall, and how our sin has left us with a distorted relationship with our God, with our Creator, and how we can't find any way back to Him on our own. But here's the good news, right? The Lord is on our side. The Lord fought even that battle for us when He sent Jesus to live a perfect life, to die, and to rise again, right? He is the one that conquered that on our behalf. But not just with sin and death, but in every battle since, right? Think about your own life. Think about the things that you have walked through. Think about the floods that have come, the torrents that have sprung up in your life, the health issues you've walked through, the family issues you've walked through, the struggles at work that you've walked through. Think about those things. Think about how you would have gotten through them without the Lord. And you probably wouldn't have. Or right, if you had, you would have come through as a shell of yourself. But with the Lord, we can walk through these things with confidence. We can walk through these things with hope. We can walk through these things really in victory because of what He has done and what He is doing. He says, blessed be the Lord who has not given us as prey to their teeth. We have escaped like a bird from the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken and we have escaped. And we have overcome. We have this bad thing that was meant to break us down, that was meant to keep us captured. It has not overcome us because of the Lord. Our help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth. Where would you be without the Lord? Well, I know for a fact that without the Lord, you would still be dead in the sins and trespasses in which you once walked. And I know that without the Lord, you would be broken. You wouldn't be able to walk through the things that you have walked through. And so as we think about going and living for God's glory, we do it with a reminder of all that He has done for us, all that He continues to do for us, right? The hope that He offers to us, and that's the same hope that He offers to those around us. That is the hope, the message that we bring to others as we go and glorify God's name. We let them know that if it hadn't been the Lord, man, there's no telling where we would be. Thanks for tuning in this week. I'll be back next week. Until then, go and glorify God's name.